Ladies and gentlemen, the day is finally here. After a solid month and a few days of straight grinding Fortnite Save the World, I have achieved every single trophy the game has to offer. It took me over 400 hours to finish, which is about half of the Fortnite trophy guide said it would take. Might need some updating there, but this is by far the longest I've ever gone in my entire YouTube career without posting a video. It's the most time I've ever spent on a video, and it sucked completely. Yeah, I fell into a deep, dark depression while grinding this game. I had quite a bitter attitude for the most part of it.
Fortnite.
But thankfully, a heavenly hand reached out to me while I was grinding, and I want to shout out to the Pawn Stars YouTube channel. I think I watched like 30 hours of that slop content, and I loved it. No, but seriously, this game is everything I said it would be in terms of a challenge way back when I was doing my previous challenge on the channel, being the EA Games series over the summer. And that video series challenge, if you remember the goal, I had to hit 1 million subs or else I had the platinum Fortnite, and long story short, that's what led us to this video and today. So let's stop dilly-dallying around it and let us begin the Fortnite Platinum Trophy grind. In total, the game has 46 trophies, including the Platinum. The faded time to Platinum is estimated at around 1,000 hours if you aren't Its Illusion, and yeah. The game's difficulty is rated at this. That's some bullshit. So day one begins, and I already had a handful of trophies, as most of you probably know from my many failed attempts to platinum this game in the past, totaling up to 21 trophies from past attempts, which put me right in the middle, or not even in the middle, of Plankerton, one of the many areas of the main game, and in fact I'm not even halfway through the main story. So let's jump into stage 1 of my trophy guide, seeing as the Fortnite one on PSN profiles is a bit outdated and not a good measure for us today. Stage 1. Complete the main story as fast as possible, like Its Illusion in the bedroom. That's the official title of it, no changing it, I'm not sorry. Now throughout this stage I am going to be chasing down every single main story trophy and a few side ones that are achieved through natural play. And when I say I went after those main story trophies, I mean like that's literally all I did with ruthless dedication. Picking to solely play whatever the next mission said, doing it, then reporting back, and the cycle continues on. Fortnite Save the World story, as I'm sure we all know, isn't exactly that great. There is a super neat lore behind the concept of Save the World and what Fortnite is in general, but the actual gameplay and story itself is chalked down to the same missions in different areas of the game. And if you don't listen to this bitch-ass robot named Ray in your ear throughout it, you're probably gonna miss 99% of what's happening. Now, I won't comment on how much I paid attention to her ramblings. So for the first hour and a half of grinding, I did just that. Played the same few missions over and over and over. And the first trophy I would get, and the first new trophy of this video, came from one called Darwin Rewards. A little reference to something in that name. I'm not too sure what that is, however, because I'm a gaming YouTuber. But that trophy itself is just a side trophy, and it's not from a mission. Instead, from just upgrading a trap to 2 stars in level. Something in which we will be doing a lot of today, or actually over the next month of playing this. But here's that trophy, and we are officially off on the journey towards the platinum. Just kidding, I had to go do something, so I quit my game and I left. God, I hate Fortnite so much.
Hey, disconnected. Yeah, guys.
But back to playing, I was still only in the very first half of the Plankerton questline. Now for some reference, the Plankerton questline is the second one, then there is Canny Valley, which is the longest, and finally Twine Peaks, which, fun fact, has 0 real missions in it, just very hard storm shield defenses for trophies. Such fun times. Again, I just played a few missions, lost my mind a bit more, but really just nearly fell asleep. And I would end up getting another trophy from a side thing. Man, already so many side pieces are being thrown around, and this is great timing considering Michigan's football coach just got caught up with his side piece. Crazy development. Yes, Its Illusion knows ball. What the fuck? But this trophy was called Survivor Specialist, and it was from completing Survivor's Training Stage 2. Another odd kind of quote-unquote quest trophy. I know I just said this was a side trophy, and it is, but a lot of these side trophies are actually hidden behind side quests telling you to do side things. My vocab is very limited, I apologize. But yeah, as I'm trying to say, this is just from evolving a survivor in your collection to 2 stars. Oh my god, is that the exact same description as the previous trophy? What? I can't believe it!
Oh my god!
So yeah, here's that. And I also just did that pretty much randomly right here. In reality though, upgrading survivors is like the #1 thing you need to do to get a higher power level to even do the main story of the game in a fast manner. And I would end up dumping so many resources into survivor levels later on, but also thankfully later on when I was underleveled severely, I got a hand down from the heavens named Jack. Shout out Jack, by the way. We'll be hearing a lot about that godly man later. Anyways, back at it. The next trophy I'll get was from a mission. I know, finally we got an actual mission trophy, and we are only I don't know how long into this video we are. It already feels like a year. I don't ever want to play Fortnite again.
No, you're
But it was called Shelter Skelter. This one was found on page 7 in Plankerton. It was just another evacuate the shelter mission that we unfortunately got forced to play about 89 times in this game. Oh yeah, also before that I went and accepted my 1,000+ friend requests that I got. I might not have real life friends, but boy oh boy do I have virtual ones. I feel so empty inside. A few minutes later though, I did finally land on that mission and it just looked so special needs. Like it has that kind of TISM draw, you know what I'm saying? So I just threw it on like we do. The mission itself is very simple. This mission type is also not really that hard in terms of it being like the exact same format as most missions. And let me bring you all to my own drawing of what Fortnite's missions look like in broad view, because I know damn well 99% of y'all ain't ever playing Save the World. Basically, you have this thing which is the base, and this can be a variety of looking things, but it's just our objective for the mission. Then you just build around it or place traps in a cool way, or you just don't. It's honestly up to you on how much you want to sit around and watch or actually defend it. And then these things called husks or monsters come trying to get to the base because someone is telling them to. And you just kind of do this back and forth for whatever time limit the game says at the top of the screen. And when it's over, and you go back and repeat this on the next mission. Thank you for your time. That was my TED Talk. So yeah, once that finished, I had the trophy, and I guess that was a significant mission because the game said so, and here it is. Moving on with our lives, which is something I haven't done since November 1st. I ended up getting another one of those side trophies from just upgrading something to star level 2. Sorry. This time it was called Proven Defender, something the court's gonna need after I sue Fortnite for psychological torment on young, impressionable minds. But it was just from upgrading defenders to star level 2. Who would have guessed that one? Anyways, here it is popping. Haha, yes, trophy pop, trophy pop. I've said that phrase so much. If you want to hear me say it more, check out the Platinum Trophy playlist I linked in the description below. It has so much content. Please go and watch every single video. Thank you. Also, I want to give a huge shout out for real to everyone who has been DMing me about their top performance watching the Its Ilusion channel the last year.
I love you, bitch. Oh my god. I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
Moving forward, the next trophy I got in this plethora of them was called Epic Troll Stash. Now this one is a bit of a unique trophy in the terms of it not being a random act and more of something you'll get either naturally or by purposeful intent if you avoided these things called trolls inside of Fortnite as you play. And by trolls, I don't mean rude individuals trash talking you in the YouTube comment section. No, I mean literal purple flying trolls that steal your blue glow when you're trying to start the goddamn objective in a match. Those are the trolls this trophy is talking about. But surprisingly, the trophy itself is actually not from killing them. Instead, from stealing their own treasure, which is just found in a chest in caves with their little icon residing on top of it just to confirm that it's theirs. And once I found one, I looted it without even knowing what I was doing, to be honest. I was simply going towards the shiny thing because the shiny thing is cool to my brain. And I ended up getting a trophy after the match ended. Yes, Fortnite is one of those games that does not reward you with shit until you finish the match. I know, just one more reason to hate this amazing game they abandoned. Moving on though, the next trophy I got was actually a unique one yet again in this video. A Storm Shield Defense trophy. More specifically, the final Plankerton Storm Shield Defense being 6, a very standard name for it. Now I'm a little unsure as to why I even did this. I genuinely cannot remember, but I had just done the 5th defense, and I think a man named Jack was whispering in my ear to do the 6th one also, because it's for a trophy and the game story progress, which is why I went and did it. Always trust a person who has thousands of hours of playtime on this game. And this also brings me to my first heartfelt thank you of the video. Jack is probably one of the best Fortnite Save the World players in the world, and thank God he is a fan of the channel and offered to help me today with numerous things in this video. First being obviously this Storm Shield defense, and then numerous things later on. So I want to say a huge shout out, thank you, and God bless to Jack for all the help he did in this video. Also, I want to say another another big thanks to my boy, Big Montes. Montes isn't as good as Jack, I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, bro. It's fine. But he also did join by my side for a few weeks of grinding without asking him to, just because he's a real one, so shout out to you, sir. Anyways, thanks to Jack's help, he went and built me some defenses to Plankerton's final storm shield defense we needed to do, and he basically put me on his back and carried me to a victory with the trophy from that popping afterwards. And that's the final trophy from the storm shield defense in Plankerton. The next trophy I got was in right after in the very next questline mission called Liberation, from completing the Battle of Plank Harbor. This is one of the more major final missions in Plankerton, and it's entirely just us doing an Atlas mission, which is one of the most played mission types I will do. An Atlas mission is just, again, bring up my diagram, yeah, it's pretty much that. Except this time, since it's a major battle, as the game says, there is 3 of them now. How freaking neat. So we just had to defend 3 of them at once, and once more I had Daddy carry me, and it made this easy peasy with us doing it first try and barely with any trouble at all. So here's that trophy pop, and we are almost finished with Plankerton's trophies and just, Plankerton in general. However, before polishing off this area with that trophy, I did get one more that slipped in called ... Oops, ... From completing a quest called I'm Probably Dead, and I unfortunately lost my carry at this point, so I did have to lock in. But it was a new style of mission having us go to a place called Vendor Tech Research Labs and just complete the mission at hand. Now, as I say, this is a new mission type. It actually becomes kind of a staple with us doing this type of multi-server defense on major mission markers in the future. So we will see this type of mission again in this video, but all you have to do is defend numerous servers, and fun fact, you actually only need to keep 1 alive. So realistically, you could just butcher the mission and still technically complete it, and oh look, that's exactly what I did. But as a wise man once said, winning is winning, and here's that trophy pop after the game concluded. So as I was saying, the next trophy I got is called Many Planks, the final trophy from Plankerton and completing all the main quests inside of it. Now the final mission was called, conveniently enough, Onward to Canny Valley, which is, as I've already said, the 3rd area of this game and the longest by far. But the mission itself consisted of us just simply defending the rocket which is launching off to Canny Valley, if you couldn't already tell by the mission's icon being a motherfucking rocket ship, or maybe a penis with erectile dysfunction, who knows. All in all, however, this was just another defend mission. And once that timer drained down and we didn't let the rocket get destroyed, it ended by shooting up and up and up into the skies above, with a trophy popping back in the menu, and here it is. So we are officially into Canny Valley, which is the 3rd and final real area of the game's story. Yes, there is still Twine Peaks after, but that's not really finished, so we don't count it, to be honest. But Canny Valley has 19 pages of quests to do, much more than Plankerton, and I'm gonna go find a tall building.
Oh my god!
Anyways, the first trophy I got was actually right away called Future Days, from completing the first storm shield defense that there is, which is something you always have to do when going to a new area in this game because it establishes a base for us. Duh. So that's what I did again. I was solo and all alone, so I tried my best to make a good base. Please don't judge me, but if you do, please leave a comment down below to make this video appear for more people to also make fun of my base building skills. Thank you, YouTube algorithm. Anyways, the defense was simple, seeing as it was the first one. After finishing, I got the trophy, and here is when things started to get long. Something new to Its Illusion, things being long. I'm coping. What I'm trying to say is trophies began to get more and more distant from each other in terms of playtime. I went 2 days straight without another trophy, and it was called Quad Squad. Fun fact, this trophy isn't main story, and it's just a random ass side thing that requires you to do numerous mission types to get it. It's very, very random, but the final one was to do a 4 Atlas Fight the Storm mission in a 52+ zone, which is only even possible in Canny Valley because that power level isn't available till now, and a 4 Atlas type mission is again just another type of mission. And please don't play it on repeat. This is like one of the worst to grind out because it takes so much effort and time to do. However, seeing as it is, a genuinely hard mission type, it does actually make sense why it's a trophy for once. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say in terms of this trophy. It's just from doing this mission type, which the description states in the side quest part of the challenges in Fortnite Save the World. So once I did finish the mission, trophy popped, and here it is. Now the next 3 trophies I got in a row are all trophies I have been sort of passively going for as I've been seriously grinding this game, being called Go Gnome, Evil Things with Crazy Teeth, and finally Loot Legend. And first of these, the Gnome one, is from destroying 100 garden gnomes in successful missions. Now this is only hard because garden gnomes kind of just disappear from the game in Plankerton and Canny Valley. They just get super rare, but you still can find them here and there. And once I did get my 100th one and finish the mission I was in successfully, I got the trophy trophy pop, and here it is. And I want to apologize, I couldn't find myself destroying a single gnome, by the way, because this recording is almost a month old. Please don't sue me. So yeah, moving on, the next one was called Evil Things with Crazy Teeth. A more clear name for this is just any girl named Emma, Emily, or Jonathan. But this was from completing a quote-unquote quest called Toxic Treasures. Now that quest line had numerous objectives and stages to it, seeing as stage 10 is the last one for the trophy. But the stages mostly consisted of just killing mimics, both from that chest kind and the blue glow kind. Very annoying to be honest, but actually super long to get this one done with, which is kind of funny. However, it is again simple, and once I did complete it with whatever the hell it said I had to do, I got the trophy pop, and here it is yet again. It's my library of over 12,000 trophies. How unique. Now finally, Loot Legend, from looting 300 treasure chests in successful missions. Another very long trophy, but Fortnite chests are in like every single mission no matter what, so this really isn't hard. It just takes a long ass time to get 300 of them. But like I just said, it's not hard, it just takes a while, and once I did get 300 of those little bitches, the trophy popped, and here it is. Now that was all on November 11th, so I then went 5 full days of playing to get my next trophy from near the end of Canny Valley. And this is because I now only have trophies from doing main missions and those grind ones, as we all know. So we are officially finished with all the random BS. It kind of feels good. So 5 days of playing through Canny Valley later, I reached the final storm shield defense I needed to do. And actually, you know, let's take a step back, because the mission before that was a boss fight against the goddamn Storm King of Fortnite Save the World. By far the hardest mission in the game, and I got my ass kicked, licked, abused. I am a victim, god damn it. But thankfully, my sugar daddy Jack responded to my calls like a bat signal in the night and joined me, then carried me. I legitimately think Jack saved me at least 100 or maybe 200 hours of grinding just to get strong enough to do half these missions. So for that, God bless you once more, soldier. So yeah, we won the fight, or at least, you know, he did. W-mans. And then we did do the Canny Valley Storm Shield Defense 6, again with good old boy Jack's help. I love this man. So yeah, this was very easy because of the goat's help, and he just dances away like nothing. Legendary. So here's that trophy pop. Now the next one I got was only a few minutes later, and the final trophy and quest in Canny Valley. After a week, we finally made it, boys. And for reference, that was like 2 minutes of this video, but it took me a week in real life to do. I hate my job. Anyways, the final Canny Valley mission was just another rocket launch type thing, so we did just that and launched that hoe. Again, very easy. Yes, Jack was still there to help us out. Someone give this man a raise, but hey, there also was 2 other randoms as well, which is cool. Anyways, again, like the previous launch rocket mission, it was up, and away. The trophy then popped, and we've officially finished 100% of the Fortnite Save the World story. You know, besides Twine Peaks, which just has us do numerous storm shield defenses. And if you're wondering, yes, this is a very hard area of the game, and yes, it is the final one, and yes, Jack did help me again, and he built all my defenses, and he also did all of the waves with me, and he got me every trophy from Twine Peaks back to back, which was only 2, but hey, still. So yeah, those are both, or were both, from doing Storm Shield 1 and then Storm Shield 6. Thanks to Jack, it only took 2 hours to get them both. I think I am in love with this man. I know I've said that, but I'm gonna keep saying it till I die. And if you've been keeping track to this point, it is also finally stage 1 of the platinum finished with. Yeah, that took a while. So let us not fret, let us not pause, let us not hinder, and let's jump first into stage 2. Pray to Lord Jesus to give you all together now daily quest. Yes, this is a stage in itself. The final trophy I have in this game that is not just the grind ones is called All Together Now, from, well, completing the All Together Now daily quest, as it clarifies. Daily quests in this game are daily, and they are completely random, so you just need to get lucky with this one popping up. You can thankfully refresh once a day, so you get more than one chance, but still, it took me weeks to get this to this point. However, since I was trying to get this from day one, I ended up finally getting it the very next day of playing, and once I finished it, just consisted of us saving 50 survivors in successful missions. It popped, and here it is. So that's stage 2 finished with. The difference in time between stage 1 and 2 is funny, but hey, I got lucky. Is it because I'm a YouTuber? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I sucked Tim Sweeney's maybe I didn't. Either way, let's move on. This is getting weird.
4K. Got you. I got you in 4K, daddy.
So let's begin the final stage. Stage 3. Replay the same 2 missions 10,000 times and think about admitting to a mental hospital at the same time. This is the final stage of the game where all 5 of the grind trophies will be obtained, and these grind trophies are in no particular order. Actually, I am going to list them in the order I got them. Fortnite's trying to come back up. First being plays well with others from completing 1,000 play with other missions, Guardian Angel from saving 10,000 survivors in, again, successful missions, Talented Builder from building 500,000 structures, World Explorer from exploring 1,500 zones fully, and finally, Unspeakable Horrors from killing 20,000 Mist Monsters in missions. God, I am out of breath just saying these devilish, sinnish, and disgusting trophies again. But I know what you're all wondering, pondering, questioning even. How did I go about this? Well, thanks for asking, friend. I'll tell you if you drop a like and subscribe. No, I'm kidding, kind of. I did it by first going for the 1,000 play with others trophy because that mode is by far the worst mode in this game, and it's the longest trophy of the game. Play with other missions are those little question mark missions that just put you into either a random mission with people or by yourself if the game is dead at the moment. But these missions are all random, obviously, and the method I used was to play the very first selection of them being the 1 to 3 power level zones and the 3 to 5 power level zones. And I would actually say and suggest you only play the 3 to 5 power level zones just so you can sometimes get a chance at getting a Rescue the Survivors missions thrown in there, which is the fastest mode in the game. But usually you're gonna get Lars, Van, Atlas, and sometimes resupply or even retrieve the data, all of which have timers and take between 9 minutes if you're lucky to 15 minutes per mission to complete. Now remember, we need to do these like 1,000 times, so I spent quite literally like 3 to 4 weeks doing this one trophy. I put more time into getting this single trophy on Fortnite than I did on Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2's Platinums each. But I will say, while doing this trophy, I did also go for zones because we need to get 1,500 zones as well, and I also did save survivors whenever possible, which all in all helped those two out a great deal. And I even chased after that building trophy sometimes, but there is a specific method for that which makes it very fast later on. Now, as we have seen in this B-roll footage while I'm talking, the pin quests have very large jumps in numbers, and that's because I didn't record any of this grind, seeing as no trophies were gonna pop, and it's just useless to fill my tiny ass hard drive with terabytes and terabytes of Fortnite play with others missions footage. All in all, this trophy is horrible. I don't even know how to put it into words because unless you experience it for yourself, you're just not gonna understand how goddamn f***ing pissant bad it truly is. I genuinely have not ever had so much agony playing a game. Like, some days it was a challenge to roll out of bed in the morning. I was like genuinely depressed. I would have rather platinumed AC Shadows 5 times over and over and over than to do this bullshit. But I do want to say a huge thank you to a few people who joined in my efforts more than anyone and made it less of a pain with companionship, not only in this mode but in the next part of this video with these survivors and zones. Josh, KD, Overlord, Raster Star, Sour EM, or whatever the hell that name is, Jacob, and again, Jack, who carried me greatly. All those people I just named played with me for weeks on end without needing to. They did it purely because they wanted to help, and God bless you all. I genuinely cannot say thank you enough. The amount of hours me and the boys spent together in this game is just absolutely insane. Thank you. But with all of that said, it actually just reminded me of something I haven't mentioned about the Play With Others missions. Almost all of them, or I should say the objective-based ones, require you to vote for it to start. Yes, you have to vote to start the simple-ass 3-minute long defend objective mission in this game. And my lord above, the amount of times I genuinely crashed out trying to get motherfuckers to vote yes on the stupid mission is absolutely insane, and is by far my least favorite part about this game's core functions. Mission voting. Like, there is not anything else in this game more annoying than the trophies. It's stupid. It's so stupid. Okay, sorry for my dumb rant. If you know, you know. Anyways, fast travel to the 1000th round of Play With Others. It was another Atlas mission or Fight the Storm mission, so I built my defense, and then I sat there in pestilence as the timer ticked down and down and down. Once it crossed 0, the mission ended and I won, and I got the banner for the 1000 Play With Other missions and the trophy popped. Also, here's my reaction to it happening live from my iPhone. Give me the thing. I do not feel like the number 1 right now. Bro, I swear to God. Oh my God. I think I just shit myself. Alrighty, so with that said, the next step is to just get 1,500 zones. Now, I still did need about 400 something after the 1,000 Play With Other missions, and I got all of these zones in these survivor missions because I also do need a couple thousand survivors for the trophy as well. So I began the next week or so long grind of doing Rescue the Survivor missions over and over and over. Now, for some advice, I was just getting a few buddies to do this with because having even one other person who knows what the f they are doing makes this go by so much faster. And if you get a full squad, we even saw games games finished within 2 minutes and 30 seconds of playing, which is just insanely good for time usage. But that's basically it. This part of the game really isn't hard, and the hardest parts are over with. Now it's just simply boring and still grindy. I would end up finally getting a trophy, and it was the 10,000 survivors one, which popped before anything else. Days even before the zones trophy, and here it is. Low-key, that trophy is the easiest out of the grind stage besides, you know, the builds ones. And speaking of builds, that's what I did right after. So the talented builder trophy is from building 500,000 times in successful missions. However, you can farm this in a home base as long as the host ends it, because it counts as a draw, which is a win in terms of code, and the builds you do will count for the trophy. So I got a few lads together, and we did this numerous times over the last month with each other, just building away in a home base. There is this well-known method using the old school building style and pre-edited structures, which people usually say is the best, but I saw some guy do this other method where you just crank your build sensitivity up and then spam floors, triangles, and then you go up a level and do that over and over. And I found this method to be the best, taking only a minute to go through 5,000 materials, whereas the old school method takes about a minute and a half. Yes, I did test this. That's just how much I care. More than your father probably does about you. So anyways, I only needed like 70k or so more builds at this point, and me and the boys locked in for a solid hour to an hour and a half getting that total up. Again, I want to say a huge shout out to the people in this lobby, Josh, KD, and Bulldog. Once more, thank you so much for the help. Once I crossed the 500k structures, I told my boy Josh, he ended the match, it saved, and my trophy popped. So there's only 2 left now in the grind stage before the platinum: World Explorer and Unspeakable Horrors. Now obviously I went and did World Explorer next since I was already grinding that one out, and it took me about a day and a half of playing Rescue the Survivor missions over and over and over just for the zone to get the 1500 total in the trophy. Absolutely miserable and one of the most boring things I've ever done in my existence of 20 years on this earth. I quite literally think this type of gaming makes your brain more resilient to things, because I don't think I'm ever gonna feel bored again in my life. So yeah, like I said, get some friends to play with you, grind this shit out, and after 400 hours of playing in total, I reached the infamous 1500 zones complete. I then cried, both IRL and in-game. With that trophy finally, and I mean finally popping, marking the last mission ever after playing Fortnite. But there was still one more trophy that remained. The Mist Monster Trophy from killing 20,000 Mist Monsters. A very big number and a very big grind. However, thanks to a lad named Jack, who we all know at this point, I had myself a little thing called a Canny Valley Endurance AFK base, where you just throw in endurance mode and 30 waves of monsters come at yo shit. All the while you just sit back and let the base and trap tunnels kill them. At the same time, Mist Monsters also get killed as that counter races without you having to even touch the controller. So that's how I got the Mist Monster kills. I also am making this video and writing this script while that is happening because it does still take some time. So I'm going to come back when I get the platinum. Okay, I'll see you guys in 1 second.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fast forward 10 seconds. Oh my god. Leave the mission! What the fuck is that? Give me it. Oh my god. They're edging me. Give it to me. This is it right here. Oh! Yes. Do it. I'm gonna bust. Do it. Oh! Oh! Oh, I hate everything.
So yeah, that was the Fortnite Platinum Trophy experience. If you're wondering how the last few Mist Monster kills went, then here's a clip of that. Yeah, I wasn't even at my PS5 desk, if I'm being honest with you. So that was the Fortnite Platinum Trophy experience, as I've just said. And I think I've already said enough about how challenging this game was, how long it took, the amount of boredom. All in all, it's just an absolutely disgusting time, but I did it. So with that said, please drop a like, maybe even subscribe. Okay, goodbye. Thanks for watching once more, and I love you guys.